Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I'm pretty excited today to tell you about a new service that is being offered that is basically kind of like a blue book of tractor values. And on this YouTube channel, I have people ask me all the time, what's my tractor worth? And generally, it's somebody that maybe a family member is deceased and they've inherited a tractor and they want to get a valuation on it. And I've been out of the tractor business since 2014, and I up until now have directed them to several resources where they could kind of cobble together a value. But today I have Mitch Hellman with me, and Mitch is with Sandhills Publishing, and they're kind of the online leader by far in used equipment values, and that could be used trucks, used tractors, used everything. And Mitch, you've got a new service that's called the Value Insight Portal, and it's free. It's open to anybody. Before we get started with that, tell us about Sandhills and what you do and a little bit about yourself.
Hey, Mike. No, I appreciate you bringing me on here. Yeah. So I work for Sandhills Global. I actually oversee our auction products. So, for a lot of you out there, the brand that you're probably most familiar with is like Auction Time. But on our retail side, we have Tractor House, Machinery Trader, Truck Paper. Machinery Trader on the construction side, Truck Paper on the transportation side. But for this case, Tractor House is probably a very well-known name within the community. Since pretty much all the major dealers work with us to list their equipment, their retail equipment, which includes your big boy tractors, all the way down to the small ones.
And the way we used to get values when I worked in the dealership world is to look at your auction values.
Yep.
Because whatever the auction value is of a tractor was what we would put in a tractor or what we would allow in trade. But it was a little bit cumbersome to find that number. And you've streamlined this and you've got this new service. Tell us about the VIP.
Yeah, no, and you're spot on with auction prices. That is truly what someone will pay today for a unit and what the unit is worth. And there's a difference between auction and retail, and that's what our Value Insight Portal, or VIP tool, which is free for everyone to use, takes into account. And it brings a lot of just pretty much all the data, in this case, like Tractor House has, both on the retail and the auction side, all into one portal. That gives you a real-time pricing on what it's worth today on the auction side and what it's worth today on the retail side. And today's sales affects tomorrow's values. And so not only can you get it, punch in, all of the units on your yard at home, acreage, farm, but it also keeps track of those units so that you can see how that you basically what that unit's worth at any given point. Whether you look at it today and then revisit it a month from now or 6 months from now or 2 years from now, that value changes. And the only way to get that is from sales data on both the auction and the retail side, and that's kind of basically what we bring all into one portal so that you guys have access to it.
Now, Mitch, in the background here, I've got a John Deere 1070, and I had a buddy of mine a few years ago want me to help him move this tractor because he was in real estate. The family that owned the tractor, the main guy had died. The kids were selling the property, and they wanted this tractor to go away. And we're going to use it as a sample today. It's a John Deere 1070. And if you'll share your screen, show us how the value portal works. And we'll just see how you get the values.
The easiest way that I would say for all you guys to access it is go to tractorhouse.com. Which is a place that you guys probably have frequently visited, over time. But down at the bottom, you'll see this little VIP little button that's like hovering right here at the bottom. You'll want to click on that. What this is going to do, I'm logged in right now, but it's going to have you log in. If not, create a quick little login. It's going to use your Tractor House login if you've already have one or previously have one. But then it's going to take you to a screen like this. That'll allow you to punch in your serial number, VIN number if it's a truck, and then you'll be able to start your evaluation. So I'll go ahead. Yeah, Michael, let's run through one of these right now.
Okay, you've got the serial number of the tractor that's in my background there. Go ahead and run it.
Yep, I'm gonna punch that in. One of the reasons that we have serial number on a lot of, this is a little bit older tractor, but on a lot of the newer tractors, or trucks or construction equipment, we're able to pull in a lot of the predetermined specs from the VIN or the serial number. So that's one of the reasons that we do ask for serial number, so that we can help validate it, make sure we get the correct year and all of that. And so in this case, we don't have it. So I will just start pre-typing the unit in. It was John Deere.
It's a
You say it was
1070.
1070.
Yep.
1070. Yep. So it immediately knows what category we're in. I think you said it was a what, 1993?
1993. That's correct.
Yep. So one of the things we do ask for is your zip code, your postal code, because that location does matter. Units are worth different amounts in different areas of the country, so that does play an important role. And so, Mike, if you don't mind me asking, what's your zip code out there?
Oh yeah, it's 65721.
Awesome. So I'm going to click next here. The next thing that happens is you'll go ahead and you'll put in the different specs on the unit.
Okay.
You know, this is, and just to kind of explain it, this is really important because these are specs that we have seen as needle movers that'll actually change the price based on, you know, what is inputted here. So every category of equipment, if on tractors, it's going to look different than sprayers and combines and tillage equipment and all of that. But these are the most important things that we need. Now, if you don't know it, you don't need to fill it in. We'll still come out with a value on it, but we can be more accurate the more data that we have inputted here. So
Mike, this tractor had 683 hours on it, and why I remember that, I don't know.
That's pretty low. That's pretty low hours there.
Very low hours, yeah.
Yeah. So 34 horse. Is a 4-wheel drive.
Did not have a front end loader.
And there's no backhoe and there's no cab.
And the transmission, it was a straight gear drive, that first option there.
So it was a gear drive. So yeah, so like I said, if you can fill everything out, great. If you can't, that's great too. We can just get a little bit more accurate when it comes to all of this. So click on that run evaluation on it.
Wow. Wow, that's cool.
One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little button here, just because it's going to give you a little bit of different visual, this view for future cast here. And then I'll be able to better kind of explain it to you. But yeah, auction value is what this thing is worth like today at an auction. So whether it's a timed auction, whether it's a physical auction, you know, any auction out there, you know, a farm close out, that guy's got a compact tractor like this out there. It's what you can expect this is going to bring in very average condition for its age, you know, and its make and model, you know, on the auction market. And so, you know, 6129 is what you could expect. On the retail side is what you could expect if you were going to list this out on Tractor House and leave it out there, you know, for a longer period of time to try to find, you know, a buyer, you know, what we call on the retail side that's willing to pay a little bit more for that unit. You could expect, you know, just under 10 grand, $9,600 for that on the retail side. So, you know, there is a difference between, you know, that auction and that retail number, which is, you know, Tractor House versus, you know, any other auction out there. When you're looking at this pricing, we do actually give you what we recommend as a strong like retail asking value. So if you were going to list this for sale, if you listed it around $10,000, you're probably going to achieve somewhere around this $9,600 on the retail side.
I love it. And basically, as a dealer, if you're asking me to trade for that, I'm going to trade for a wholesale, which is auction value, minus any expense that I incur to get that thing fixed up, ready to sell. So if there's a $400 part that I need and $100 of labor to get it installed, I'm going to take $500 off that auction value. But the market value and the asking value, advertise it is 10,128, and the market value is a ballpark of what you'd expect to get. And Mitch is, you know, in the
that's right.
stuff,
I mean, it's a retail.
it's going to bring a little less. The really premium stuff could bring a little bit more, but
that's
what a great tool. Now tell us where these numbers are coming from.
Yeah, so all of this number comes from the data that we collect through Tractor House and all the auctions. We collect auction results from all around the country. And so that all of that gets computed into the auction value. Same with the market pricing. Because of our place in the market with Tractor House, we have billions of dollars that transact and roll through us on a yearly basis with all the dealer inventory out there. So that's a lot of data that comes into computing this. Now, one thing that's very important to realize when it comes to this is and why we ask for those specific specs is when we're actually looking at a John Deere 1070, where it's not as popular of a model. There's not as many of those units, because it's an older, it's roughly a 30-year-old tractor now. We're looking at a lot of the other competing brands, and we're building up a bigger pool of data, and just not John Deere 1070s, but we know based on the other manufacturers and how much those are worth and how much those are transacting for and how much one unit is worth more than another. We have a bigger pool of data that can really get precise when it comes to estimating and putting values on these units. And we keep it within a 1% fleet error as we test this on a weekly basis, and really give it it's a good baseline tool to know what it's worth. And you can, like I said, you can come back here and check it any day, and it's gonna keep you updated as days, weeks, months, years go on.
And Mitch, there is no charge for this service, which I think is phenomenal. You do want their email address. And I actually had a guy call me later asking me if I was wanting to sell something, which he was really nice, and we had a good conversation. But this is a free service.
Yep. You're spot on. It's a complete free service, and it basically gives you access to all this data. And we have different tools when you really get in there to, if you want to get into, like, you'll see right here, there's a sell button. If you click sell, if you want to post it on Tractor House to get it sold, gives you a quick, easy way to try to sell this unit. Also selling it on auction time, through our auction product that would go through different auctioneers. That would help you conduct that sale. So, it's just a really good tool just to have a better insight on really what everything that you own, in the equipment sector is worth.
Mitch, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Again, you might tell us where to go to get that. What's the best web destination?
Yeah, the actual direct website is valueinsightportal.com. Otherwise, a quick, easy way is right on the Tractor House or Auction Time website. We have a little hovering button there that says VIP.
Well, this is a great service, and I think a lot of my viewers will want to take advantage of it at different times in their tractor ownership periods. And we just appreciate you telling us about it. And we're going to do another video that I'm going to post next. Mitch is harvesting data about used equipment, and that data is real important to predict trends of where the used tractor market is going. And in our next video, we're going to talk about what the trend is right now today. Thanks for watching.